Korean dance performed in Chicago. Vauban neighborhood, an eco-friendly village in Germany. Koreans provide science teacher seminar in Timor-Leste. Korean chef presents fusion Korean cuisine in Australia. Hello, welcome to Going Global. I'm your host, Jung Se-mi. Miniature horses that help out with psychotherapy at nursing homes and hospitals are quite the sensation these days. Through an American nonprofit organization, miniature horses are now giving comfort to many patients who are going through emotional difficulties. These therapy horses are about 75 centimeters tall, but are just like full-sized horses in terms of personality and intelligence, so they are well suited for indoor facilities. Also, they're easier for a small child or a fragile senior to befriend. Not only are the horses carefully bred, but they also go through 2 years of intensive training to work in therapy sessions. And currently, there are 25 trained therapy horses. Perhaps in the future, we'll hear more stories of how these animals help the patients heal their minds. On that note, let's start off with our first story of the day. A meaningful performance was recently held in the U.S. city of Chicago, where Korean dancers came together to perform traditional Korean dances as well as original dances. The audience was impressed by the passionate performances combining the East and the West, the past and the present. Let's take a look.
Dancers perform gracefully on stage to the cheerful rhythm. Dressed like queens, they are performing taepyeongmu, a traditional Korean court dance that prays for peace and well-being of the nation. This time, the beautiful melody of Chopin's Nocturne fills the stage. A dancer performs Korean folk dance salpuri to the sorrowful melodies of the cello. Under the theme of Collage of Korean Dance, all the performances on stage combine the East and the West and the past and the present.
I love the costumes. I love how graceful the dancers are. I loved the history behind all of the dances to find out what the dances mean.
You could feel everything that they were, experiencing, everything that they were trying to convey. It was really great.
This is the fourth biennial performance by the Chicago Korean Dance Company. The company was founded by 3 or 4 Korean dance majors 7 years ago. Now it has more than 40 members from children to seniors over 60. The members gathered to practice 1 or 2 times a week for this year's performance for almost a year.
미국에서 한국 문화를 접하기가 쉽지 않은데 이런 기회가 있어서 정말 좋았고 또 2년 만에 오는 공연인 만큼 되게 뿌듯함이 컸던 것 같아요.
One of the performances that captured a lot of attention was the creative interpretation of The Fairy and the Woodcutter, a Korean fairy tale. They provided English translation of the story for the American audience who are not familiar with traditional Korean culture.
해를 거듭할수록 좀 더 계속 발전된다는 소리를 많이 들어요. 들으면서 더 어깨가 무거워지는 것 같습니다. 그래서 더 미국 사회에서 또 시카고에서도 더 우리나라의 문화를 점점 더 계승할 수 있는 그런 역할을 여전히 계속해야 되겠죠.
The last stage was filled with 70 drums for a traditional percussion performance. 2 years later, the Chicago Korean Dance Company will present another great traditional arts performance for even a larger U.S. audience.
Now let's move on to our next story. In order to prevent global warming, countries around the world are making efforts to reduce carbon emissions. In Freiburg, Germany, there's a neighborhood that has more bicycles than cars. The residents also rely on solar energy. Let's find out more about this village.
This is the German city of Freiburg, the city that's kissed by the sun. Here, there's a neighborhood called Vauban, where electricity is produced through solar energy. Quiet roads and green gardens, and on each of the rooftop of the houses, there are solar panels. This is the so-called passive house. Clau Martin, who's an architect, introduces the passive house himself.
The window and the isolation from the wall, it's 3 different glasses, and often the wood from the windows, it's special.
Argon gas, an effective insulator, is sealed between the triple glazed windows.
Inside you can see the normal wall by stones built, and outside the isolation.
The 30-centimeter thick wall with insulation traps the heat inside.
Part, there's the pipeline behind. It goes through the whole flat. The air comes in here, go to the bathroom, to the ventilation. I can show you.
Passive houses have a perfect insulation system that uses solar energy for electricity. Residents don't even need separate heating or air conditioning. They plant trees and grass on their rooftops for insulation and store rainwater for domestic use. Naturally, it helps them consume less energy. The neighborhood currently has about 5,500 residents. It was named Vauban when the French forces occupied the region after World War II. When the military left in 1992 following Germany's reunification, the site was developed into an eco-friendly village. Residents created a group called Forum Vauban and persuaded the city council to make a car-free neighborhood. A garden, instead of a parking space, is at the front of each house.
We want to share our cars with many people. We are by car sharing, and because of the pollution, and it's our statement to say no car.
Instead of cars, Vauban residents drive electric vehicles or ride bicycles. In fact, bicycles account for 50% of the total traffic volume, so car accidents rarely occur and carbon dioxide emissions are very low. Thanks to this environment, it's safe for children to play on the roads, and many gardens across the neighborhood help the children grow up in nature.
Participative, etc. Moi, je suis pas vraiment là-dedans. Je suis arrivé ici un petit peu par hasard. Sinon, je vois pas d'autres points négatifs. En fait, c'est pour ça que je suis là.
A village where roads can become children's playground and where residents come and socialize. The Vauban neighborhood could be a solution for today's world, afflicted with various environmental problems.
Moving on to our next story. Timor-Leste is a country that has one of the poorest education levels in the world. For the past 9 years, science teachers from Korea have been going there every year to give seminars to local teachers. Let's take a look at how these Korean volunteers are giving hope to teachers in Timor-Leste.
Timor-Leste is one of the poorest countries in the world with a very low quality of education. It's been 13 years since the country became independent from Indonesia, but its educational facilities has stopped at just 10%, and the number of teachers only reaches 5%. A group of Korean professors has visited the country to share Korean science education.
동티모르는 우리의 한 30년 전쯤 모습을 가지고 있어요. 그래서 실험실도 없고 또 칠판 한가득 판서를 하는 것이 과학수업의 전부인 상황입니다.
The science class demonstrations were held in 2 districts, including Balkao, located in the eastern part of the country. 8 different experiments were carried out, including identifying the formation of a rock by using reagents and extracting a certain nutrient from food.
Ini amitan experience na para kelaslah ami tanda buat ide praktik Indonesia hanurine memang itu rolo so necessidad ini.
Korean teachers have been volunteering for the past 9 years, but they've had their share of difficulties. They had to first translate the Korean teaching materials into English, then into the local language. They also paid for all the expenses on their own.
해방 이후에 남의 나라로 가서 굉장히 많은 도움을 받았는데요. 그래서 저희도 기회가 되면 이렇게 조금 저희한테 부족한 나라에 도움을 줄 수 있고 나중에는 티모르 교사들이 아프리카 교사들을 연수할 수 있는.
At first, the seminar only had 3 to 4 participants. Now there are more than 100 local science teachers taking part.
Foi experimento animal milieu distrito no território Timor-Leste.
The Korean teachers who successfully hosted the 6-day seminar promised to come back next year.
Here's our last story of the day. Fusion cuisine, such as a combination of Korean and Western cooking, is gaining more popularity in Korea these days. In Melbourne, Australia, there's a fusion Korean restaurant which received a high rating from Gomiyu, one of the most influential French restaurant guides. The owner, Chef Park Jae-hyun from Korea, has been recognized for his creative menu. Let's take a look.
This is a fusion Korean restaurant located in Collingwood, 3 kilometers away from Melbourne's central business district. It's a rainy day, but the restaurant is filled with customers.
I think it's quite intriguing that the meals, the flavors tend to seamlessly combine the Western, flavors as well as the Korean, the sweet, spicy flavors. So I think that's quite nice.
What's the secret behind the popularity of this 2-year-old restaurant? The owner of the restaurant is Park Jae-hyun, a chef with 15 years of experience. He got his first cooking experience in the Navy in his early 20s. Then he went on to study Western cuisine. He worked at hotels in Korea and the United States. After moving to Australia 5 years ago, the first job that he had was working at a Japanese restaurant. Before coming here, he and his wife went on a culinary trip to 20 different countries around the world. After getting a taste of the world cuisine, he finally opened his own restaurant.
뭐 이렇게 한식을 알리겠다 이런 거창한 의미는 아니고 제가 진짜 요리사로서 모르고 사는데 그 다른 사람들 모르고 사는 그런 사람들한테 이런 맛들을 보여주고 싶고 진짜 그런 맛을 즐김으로써 이런 호주에도 이제 그런 맛들을 즐기는 문화를 이렇게 조금이라도 심어주고 싶었던 것 같아요.
The menu at Park's Korean restaurant seems closer to Western food. Grilled lamb ribs is one of the popular dishes among Australian customers. It looks like a Western-style steak, but it's topped with bulgogi sauce, making it just as popular among Korean customers as well.
저는 원래 양고기를 못 먹거든요. 냄새가 좀 심하고 또 맛도 좀 향이 좀 강해서 못 먹는데 여기 온 이후로 램을 처음으로 먹게 되고 그리고 와서 처음으로 오더해서 혼자 다 먹은 것 같아요.
Park's restaurant received the second highest rating from Goemio, one of the most influential French restaurant guides. The restaurant's been recognized for its creative menu that has classic Korean flavors intertwined with Western methods and ingredients.
네, 아무래도 한 가지를 오래 하다 보면은 이제 자기 스타일이라고 말하는 고정관념이 생기기 나름인데 박 셰프님은 그게 없으신 게 아무래도 더 이제 요리에도 많이 드러나고 그래서 더 다양한 요리를 할 수 있고 더 새로운 시도도 할 수 있는.
Park is having a day off for a change. He is doing a little bit of gardening with his son. They also pick oranges together from the tree. His wife says she understands her husband's passion for cooking, but it's hard to say that he's a good husband or father.
요리사로서만 봤을 때는 진짜 멋있어요. 음식도 너무 맛있고 제가 가게 가서 먹어도 좋고 근데 일단 아빠나 남편으로서는 이렇게 평가를 내릴 수가 없어요. 집에 없어요. 사람이 집에 없습니다.
Chef Park Jae-hyun continues to combine Western and Asian styles to create new dishes. Through his cooking, he wants to help people understand different cultures, experience it, and eventually enjoy it in their daily lives.
한국적인 맛을 이 사람들한테 좀 더 소개를 시켜주고 싶어요. 궁극적으로는 예를 들어서 뭐 김치찌개도 편하게 와서 먹을 수 있고 김치찜도 편하게 와서 먹을 수 있고 청국장도 뭐 편하게 와서 먹을 수 있고.
I hope you enjoyed the stories that we shared today on Going Global. Recently, a 105-year-old Japanese man broke a world record for the oldest competitive sprinter. Hidekichi Miyazaki finished a 100-meter sprint in 42.22 seconds at the Kyoto Masters Athletics Autumn Competition. The competition is open to people over 60 years of age, and Hidekichi competed in the over 105 age category. It's the first time that a 105-year-old participated in the 100-meter sprint. The population is aging rapidly in many countries, and more so in Japan. How to live long and healthy is becoming an increasingly important question. What must you do if you want to be as fit as the 105-year-old record breaker in your later years? How about starting by checking how fit and healthy you are before autumn is over? Going Global will be back next week with more exciting and fascinating stories from all around the world. Thank you for watching.